Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining. Shout out to Kamoya. Shout out to Myla. Thank you for joining. Welcome. My day is going well. Thank you so much for asking. How's your day going? Shout out to Pearl. Shout out to Cassandra. Shout out to Jayla. Hello everyone, welcome. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to Emily. Is it Cassandra or Cassandra? I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Aisha. Shout out to Adina. Shout out to Diana. Shout out to Robert S. Shout out to Cassandra. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Elizabeth. Shout out to Tay. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Aviana. Shout out to Kelsey. Shout out to Maricela. Thank you so much for subscribing. I truly appreciate it. Whoopsie, I spelled it wrong. There we go. Shout out to Sister. Shout out to Savannah. Shout out to Adinda. Shout out to Francisco. Hello everyone. Thank you for joining. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Ellie. Shout out to Hector. Shout out to Aria. Shout out to Brielle. Shout out to Jay. Shout out to Bowen. Shout out to Mimi. Shout out to Myra. Whoops, I spelled Myra wrong. Give me 1 second. Shout out to Myra. Shout out to Braxton. Hello everyone. Thank you for joining. Shout out to Brielle. Shout out to Sophie. Shout out to Araya. Shout out to Genesis. Shout out to Austin. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Katie. Shout out to Athena. Shout out to Richard. Shout out to Henry Creel. Shout out to Gizmo. Shout out to Sydney. Shout out to Ella. Shout out to Maddie. Shout out to Nevaeh. Shout out to Dom. Shout out to Branley. Shout out to Dino. Shout out to Charlie. Hello everyone, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Mason. Shout out to Zoe, happy birthday. Shout out to Kenneth. Shout out to London. Shout out to Catherine. Shout out to Natalia. I don't know if oh yeah, I spelled it right, okay. Shout out to Embry. Shout out to Bailey. Shout out to Malik. Shout out to Jason. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Katarina. Shout out to Yina. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Destiny. Shout out to Aaron. Shout out to Anthony. Shout out to Amber. Shout out to Sam, happy birthday. Shout out to Andrew. Shout out to Brooklyn. Shout out to Brianna. Shout out to Parker, happy birthday. Shout out to Yi Jun, sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Lily. Shout out to Hayden. Shout out to Rose. Shout out to DJ. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to DJ L. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Veda. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Isaac. Shout out to Cassie. Shout out to Melanie. Shout out to Oakley. Shout out to Crystal. Shout out to Mika. Shout out to Fiona. Shout out to Elijah. Shout out to Asher. Shout out to Samaya. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Angel. Shout out to Piper. Shout out to Bella. Shout out to Clayton. Shout out to Braylin. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Emily. Shout out to Zoe. Shout out to Hugo. Shout out to Josie. Shout out to Leah. Shout out to Wyatt. Shout out to Sebastian. Shout out to Zila. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to Izzy. Shout out to Harmony. Shout out to Jocelyn. Okay. Shout out to these people. On to the next page. Thank you so much for being here. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the live stream. I live stream every day around the same time. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the shout outs. I also post other content. I hope you can check it out as well. Thank you so much for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Hattie. Shout out to Drew. Shout out to Helen. Shout out to Josiah. Shout out to Athena. Shout out to Miley. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Amira. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Abigail. Shout out to Drew. Oh, I got Drew. Shout out to Ingrid. Shout out to Paige. Shout out to Areli. Shout out to Becca. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Kendall. Shout out to Rosie. Shout out to Emily. Shout out to Bellamy. Shout out to Reagan Foster. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Reagan Foster. Shout out to Eileen. Shout out to Steven. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Destiny. Shout out to Gia. Shout out to Ethan. Shout out to Gavin. Shout out to Leandra. Shout out to Melissa. Shout out to Amy. Shout out to Elena. Shout out to Mia. Shout out to Gizmo Wismo. Shout out to Roman. Shout out to Lana. Shout out to Aisha. Shout out to Holly. Shout out to Jaden. Shout out to Stella. Shout out to Eileen. Shout out to Liam. Shout out to Briley. Shout out to Juan. Shout out to Liam Pevy. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Liam Pevy. Shout out to Julietta. Shout out to Harper. Shout out to Sydney. Shout out to Judy. Shout out to Mohammed. Shout out to Autumn. Shout out to Alejandro. Shout out to Roshan. Shout out to Quinn. Shout out to Jameson. Shout out to Nyla. Shout out to Coco. Shout out to Osaid. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Nora. Shout out to Bonchi. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Christopher. Shout out to Jose. Shout out to Kimberly. Shout out to Lowell, or Lowell. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Leon. Shout out to Madison. Shout out to Ethan. Shout out to Maddie. Shout out to Natalie. Shout out to Ruby. Shout out to Maritza. Shout out to Ledger. Shout out to Kate. Shout out to Dariana. Shout out to Cambry. Shout out to Cam. Shout out to Gabby. Shout out to Blue. Shout out to Eliana. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Kyla. Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to William. Shout out to 95 Buckwheat. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to 95 Buckwheat. Shout out to Cambry. Shout out to Sharky. Shout out to Nicole. Shout out to Elizar. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Lila. Shout out to Mercy. Shout out to Daniel. Shout out to Veda. Shout out to Ira Lynn. Shout out to Angeli. Shout out to Connor. Shout out to Cece. Shout out to Jade. Shout out to Vanessa. Shout out to Peyton. Shout out to Michaela. Shout out to Briley. Shout out to Dominic. Shout out to Bella. Shout out to Summer. Shout out to Waverly. Shout out to these people. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. On to the next page. Thank you so much for being here. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the shout outs. I live stream every day around the same time as right now. I would truly appreciate it if you like and subscribe and you check out my channel. I post other content. I hope you can check out my other content and leave likes. I would truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Shout out to August. Shout out to Mackenzie. Shout out to Brooklyn. Shout out to Grace. Shout out to Amelia. Shout out to Michaela. Shout out to Shelby. Shout out to Zainab. Shout out to Keishel. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Nora. Shout out to Armani. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Maddox. Shout out to Ryan or Rian. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. I'm so sorry. Thank you for your patience. Shout out to Raven. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Georgina. Shout out to Akeni, or Akin. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Daisy. Shout out to Ethan. Shout out to Abigail. Shout out to Leah. Shout out to Rachel. Shout out to Heidi, or Haiti. Shout out to Macy. Shout out to Alyssa. Shout out to Crystal. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Thank you for your patience. Shout out to Ariana. Shout out to Jeremy. Shout out to Anaya. Shout out to James. Shout out to Claire. Shout out to Dolly. Shout out to Kylie. Shout out to Madison. Shout out to Madeline. Shout out to David. Shout out to, is it Naira? Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Jimmy. Shout out to Logan. Shout out to Owen. Shout out to Walker. Shout out to Kaylee. Shout out to Carlos. Shout out to Presley. Shout out to Jay. Shout out to Zoe. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Anderson. Shout out to Bill. Shout out to Liam. Shout out to Maddie. Shout out to, is it Wei On Wu? Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to, oh, wrong color. There we go. Shout out to Beth. Shout out to Julia. Shout out to Sky. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Itachi. Shout out to Rachel. Shout out to Emma. Shout out to Kyler. Or Kyler, sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Granger. Shout out to Nicolette. Shout out to Horse Girl. Shout out to Megan Dozier. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Megan Dozier. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Annabella. Shout out to Destiny. Shout out to Kiana. Shout out to Thomas. Shout out to Luke. Shout out to Kensley. Shout out to Jaden. Shout out to Autumn. Shout out to Catalina. Shout out to Willow. Shout out to Jackson. Shout out to Amy. Shout out to Aubrey. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Also, please check out my channel. I would truly appreciate it. I post other content. Shout out to Louise. Shout out to Monica. Also, please leave likes around my other videos. I would truly appreciate it. Shout out to Tom. Shout out to Sailor. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Madeline. Shout out to Lucina. Shout out to Nick. Shout out to Leah. Shout out to Molly. Shout out to Navi. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Alexia. Shout out to Emma. Shout out to Rosa. Shout out to Kingston. Shout out to Iker. Shout out to Fur. Shout out to Ruhani. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Sarai. Shout out to Naira. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Demian. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Aaliyah. Shout out to Savannah. Shout out to Leon. Shout out to Valerie. Shout out to Raya. Shout out to these people. Thank you so much for being here. On to the next page. Thank you for your patience. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time to write your name. I'm so sorry if I haven't gotten to you. I try to write fast and I know I'm not always fast enough. So thank you for being here. I truly appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. Subscribe to my channel. I would truly appreciate it. Shout out to Yamio Cisneros. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Yamio Cisneros. Shout out to Perla. Shout out to Perla. Shout out to Anaya. Shout out to Bailey. Shout out to Amelia. Shout out to Georgia. Shout out to Ramsia. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Amber. Shout out to Olea or Olea. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Christina. Shout out to Reagan. Shout out to Miriam. Shout out to Stephanie. Shout out to Evelyn. Shout out to Zoe. Shout out to Nalia. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Zion. Shout out to Judy. Shout out to Piper. Shout out to Caneto. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Saw. Shout out to Rose. Shout out to Riley. Shout out to Kinsley. Shout out to Sarai. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the shout outs. I do lives every day around the same time as this. Shout out to Lizzie. Shout out to Bella. Shout out to Grace. Shout out to Litzy. Shout out to Macy. Shout out to Jovalie. Thank you so much for subscribing. Shout out to Jeff. Shout out to Luca. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Ariana. Shout out to Ray. Shout out to Benjamin. Shout out to Mads. Shout out to Katarina. Shout out to Olivia. Shout out to Kathy. Shout out to Brinley. Shout out to Emmy. Shout out to Mari. Shout out to Monique. Shout out to Alasia. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Piper. Shout out to Paola. Shout out to Callie. Shout out to Mickey. Shout out to Corn B. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Corn. Shout out to Sabrina. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Deleza. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Mary. Shout out to Isabel. Shout out to Alice. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Kendra. Shout out to Sage. Shout out to Kinsley. Shout out to Alex. Shout out to Christian. Shout out to Brixton. Shout out to, is it Tyshawn? Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Angie. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Savannah. Shout out to Zila. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Eileen. Shout out to Elena. Shout out to Izzy. Shout out to Kathy. Shout out to Milani. Shout out to Mary. Shout out to Shannon. Shout out to Liam. Shout out to Bo. Shout out to Corey. Shout out to Clark. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Darian or Darian. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Angel. Shout out to Kayla. Shout out to Addie. Shout out to Alora. Shout out to Thea. Shout out to Aubrey. Shout out to Tamara. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Javier. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Nelson. Shout out to Lizzie. Shout out to Adley. Shout out to Exlin. Shout out to Madison. Shout out to Casey. Shout out to Noah. Shout out to Luke. Shout out to Isaiah. Shout out to Robert. Shout out to Tori. Shout out to Kobe. Shout out to Truman. Shout out to Ivy. Shout out to Kat. Shout out to these people. Thank you so much for being here. On to the next page. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the shout outs. I post other content. I hope you can check it out and leave a like. I would truly appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to Catherine. Shout out to Josh. Shout out to Hendrix. Shout out to Emmy. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Gianna. Shout out to Harmony. Shout out to Princess. Shout out to Kylie. Shout out to Adeline. Shout out to Jojo. Shout out to Celine. Shout out to Nova. Shout out to Amina. Shout out to Marisol. Shout out to Oakley. Shout out to Emily. Shout out to Bacon. Shout out to Kenya. Shout out to Gabby. I don't know if I spelled Gabby correctly. Shout out to Emmy. Shout out to Raheem. I'm so sorry if I haven't gotten to you. The chat sometimes moves really fast. Thank you for your patience. Bacon, I got you. Shout out to Emmy. Oh, what was it? Oopsie. Emma. Shout out to Olivia. Shout out to Rosalinda. Shout out to Kayla. Shout out to Jay. Shout out to Joanna. Shout out to Coco. Shout out to Noah. Thank you, Coco, for your patience. I truly appreciate it. I got you. Shout out to Victoria. Shout out to Connor. Shout out to Kaden. Shout out to Elena. Shout out to Hadley. Shout out to Bacon, I got you. Shout out to Hazel. Shout out to Mila. Shout out to Kobe. Shout out to Trinity. Shout out to Ivory. Shout out to shout out to Giuliano? Shout out to Daniela. Shout out to Jasmine. Shout out to Cam. Shout out to Jimena, sorry. Shout out to Izakayas. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Livy. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Janessa. Shout out to Lorenzo. Shout out to Frankie. Shout out to Heavenly. Shout out to Nelson. Shout out to Javier. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Javier or JVR. Shout out to Mark. On my live streams, I write names, but I also post other content on my channel if you want to check it out and support. Shout out to Georgie. Shout out to Austin. Shout out to Ray and Shine. Thank you for your patience. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Josie. Thank you for your patience. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Taylor. Shout out to Cadence. Shout out to Pierce. Shout out to Enzo. Shout out to Maya. Shout out to Melina. Shout out to Alexia. Shout out to Isabella. Shout out to Summer. Shout out to Haynes. Shout out to Laura. Shout out to Peanut. Shout out to Olivia. Shout out to Madeline. Shout out to Maylin. Oopsie. There we go. Shout out to Kevin Martinez. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Kevin Martinez. Shout out to Ethan. Shout out to Zane. Shout out to Ascoli. Thank you so much for your patience. I truly appreciate it. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Ariana. Shout out to Sophia Blair. Shout out to Piper. Shout out to Tabitha. Shout out to Rocky. Shout out to Hey Marie. Thank you so much for subscribing. Shout out to Savannah. Shout out to Jeremiah. Shout out to Isaac. Shout out to Camden. Shout out to Hunter. Shout out to Trenell. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Henley. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Cassie. Shout out to Todd. Shout out to Jet. Shout out to Kaylee. Shout out to Vaughn. Shout out to Megan. Shout out to Elise. Soli, I got you. You're right here. Shout out to these people. On to the next page. Thank you everyone for your patience. I truly appreciate it. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the live stream. I live stream every day around the same time as this time. I also post other content. I hope you can check it out. I would truly appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to Rosalinda. Shout out to Amelia. Shout out to Jordan. Shout out to Caleb. Shout out to Rico. Shout out to Star. Shout out to Blake. Shout out to Ashley. Shout out to Alea. Thank you for your patience. Shout out to Alea. Shout out to Leilani. Shout out to AJ. Shout out to the Hus. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Sohail Ahmed. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Sophie. Shout out to Anna. Shout out to Haley. Shout out to Sebastian. Shout out to Kian. Shout out to Salish. Shout out to Kai. Shout out to Rosa. Shout out to Ezekiel. Shout out to Shivam. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Tyler. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Alvin. Shout out to Ensley. Shout out to Ranbir. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Max. Shout out to Jayla. Shout out to Kason. Shout out to Lily. Shout out to Gianna. Shout out to Drew. Shout out to Stokes Twins. Shout out to Dexter. Shout out to Larissa. Shout out to Andrew. Shout out to... Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Matthew. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Charlene. Shout out to Evie. Shout out to Miranda. Shout out to Rita. Shout out to Khadijah. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Sadie. Shout out to Rooney. Shout out to Kat. Shout out to Harmony. Shout out to Heba. Shout out to Julietta. Shout out to Serena. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the shout outs. Thank you for being here. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Myra. Shout out to Ads. Shout out to Isaac. Shout out to Ethan. Shout out to Violetta. Shout out to Niamey, or Niamai, sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Gerald. Shout out to Maros, sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Gerald, I misspelled your name earlier. Shout out to Lainey. Shout out to Zoe. Shout out to Julio. Shout out to Amia, or Amaya. Zoe, I got you. Gerald, I got you. Shout out to Lainey, I got you. Shout out to Mari, or Mary. Shout out to Iker. Shout out to Melanie, or Melanie, sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to B, sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Annalise. Shout out to Alera. Shout out to Victoria. Shout out to Hudson. Shout out to Montana. Shout out to Addison. Shout out to Angie. Shout out to Jace. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to Kane. Shout out to Kevin. Shout out to Mia. Shout out to Angie. Shout out to Macy. Shout out to Mika, or Micah, sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Jasmine. Shout out to Arquette. Shout out to Peyton. Shout out to Avery. Shout out to Pebble. Whoopsie. Oh my goodness, I messed up. Shout out to Pebble. Shout out to Josh. Shout out to Rebecca. Thank you for your patience, everyone. Oh my goodness, I misspelled Rebecca. Shout out to Rebecca. Shout out to Tyler. Shout out to Katarina. Shout out to Heidi, or Heidi Loves La Boo Boo. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it, Heidi. Shout out to Heidi Loves La Boo Boo. Shout out to Wednesday. Shout out to Brennan. Shout out to Vanessa. Shout out to Jalissa. Shout out to Grace. Shout out to Xiomara. Shout out to Graham. Shout out to Andres. Shout out to these people. Shout out to Zelly. Shout out to Heidi Loves Labubu. I'm gonna put Heidi here because your name might not fit. Thank you so much, Heidi. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to YouTube. Shout out to Lucia. Shout out to Maya. Shout out to Heidi Loves Labubu. Thank you so much, Heidi. I have your name here. I also have your name right here. Thank you. Heidi Loves Labubu. Got Heidi over here too. Shout out to Mana. Whoopsie. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to these people. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. I would also appreciate if you check out my channel. I posted today a video. I do little greeting cards like this, and my my video didn't get pushed out for some reason. So I would appreciate if you check out this DIY I made and leave a like. I would truly appreciate your support. Please leave a like to this video that I made. It's on my shorts. I would truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time for writing your name. I will see you all next time. Thank you, thank you. Take care, everyone. Bye.